component that I want to show you is when you turn around. Because we are somewhat attentive to combativeness, we want to make sure that we don't just turn around blindly. So if he's coming towards me, back up a little bit more, yeah, and he's doing Langkah and Garak, right, he comes out here, that's all good. He decides at some point he needs to turn around. He needs to set his feet up in a way to do that properly, and he also needs to cover his head from any attack. There's a couple ways to do that. One is to step away further while changing levels and covering, protecting his head. Okay, what that allows him to do that again, just start, no, just from back where you were. Okay. So he's in this position, yeah, he's going to stop and change again. When he turns, right, it keeps him from getting blindly hit, because if he doesn't know what's back here, obviously he's at a disadvantage. If his hand was down here, he's going to turn and get nailed. So he keeps this covering. You really want to keep it on his head, and he wants to look underneath his elbow visually. He can use peripheral vision, but he wants to be able to see under here to make sure, because if I'm over here, he's going to turn as far as he needs to see in order to be able to make sure he's covering himself. Okay, and that also keeps straight punches from hitting him and circular punches, right? And the reason you don't want to keep your hand away from your head is that you'll end up hitting yourself, which is jarring. It doesn't hurt as much as obviously a direct hit, but it's jarring. And anything that jars you sort of distracts you. So that's show the Langkah Dalam again in this direction. Okay. So he's dispatched whoever's over here or whatever, and now he decides he wants to turn. He wants to drop his weight. You need to drop further. Yep. He needs to cover and protect, and he's going to have this hand here, which keeps this potentially. I mean, it's always about your own skill, but it gives him an option for keeping that hand in play. You want to make sure you're covering here, and this helps keep from being blindly struck. If I'm turning and he's turning rather, and I'm throwing this, he has the option then of dropping his elbow and different things like that. And it's really important that he's, looking underneath his own elbow. Just so I'll get a little closer for you. You want to be looking here, okay, and your hand is in this position. So it gives a very small, narrow window for them to be able to hit you, but it also allows you to peek out so you can see something. So that's how we turn around. Just dropping your weight, dropping your height, changing your level, covering your head, and most often stepping away. In some cases, you may also step away like doing something like this. It's all good. It's really just more about the principle of making sure you're covering yourself, making sure that you're not presenting an easy target. What you wouldn't want to do is be in this position and go, obviously, right? You're going to get hit. So no matter what you do, if you drop, that helps, right? I can drop and cover out here. Anything that kind of puts a barrier up to protect this side of your head, because this is the most vulnerable, and put your other hand in play, right? So you don't want to be like this, obviously, because that's still presenting a little bit of an open area. So things to consider when you're dealing with combative situations.